This weekend on ETV, it's the clash of the Titans as the best pilots meet in the Alliance Tournament. This clash will possibly go down in history as one of the many Alliance tournaments on the internet.
Meanwhile, there are flagships to be used. Ships like the AT8 and the Raven, which have been used in previous years.
This Saturday, watch as Solar Fleet take on another team in a match that's being described as on Saturday.
Who knows, perhaps the Giants of Pandemic Legion may play host to the Titans of Goonswarm, making them both seem normal-sized.
Perhaps AAA will play Brilliant for the second time in the tournament to find out the winner.
It's impossible to keep track of every match happening during the Alliance Tournament, but your best chance is right here.
Looking ahead to June, all the EVE Online PvP teams will play each other several times in several combinations, probably with several winners.
And you can catch all the matches here at eveonline.com, where we'll be showing you all the matches all the time in high definition.
Catch all the constantly happening Alliance Tournament. It's all here, it's all happening, constantly, always here. Thousands and thousands of hours of Alliance Tournament action each.
Up. The hell are you doing?
Thousands and thousands of hours of Alliance Tournament action, each more climactic than the last.
Constant, dizzying 24-hour Alliance Tournament.
Every explosion mattering to someone, presumably.
And you can watch it all here, all the time, forever. It will never stop. CCP will never finally decide who has won the Alliance Tournament.
There's still everything to fight for, and enough is to fight for it.
So that's the EVE Online Alliance Tournament. Watch the spaceship, watch it.
It's gonna move.
So that's the Alliance Tournament coming up. Watch.
Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.
Hi everybody, welcome to the 6th and final day of the Alliance Tournament. My name is CCP Soundwave, and I just poured molten hot coffee all over my upper body. I'm not here alone. Let's meet some guests. We could talk about my upper body all day, but there are probably other things that are more relevant in this exact setting. We have on our far right, Brianna. How are you today?
Good, how are yourself?
I'm very, very happy. Did you enjoy the first day of the finals yesterday?
Yeah, it was very, very exciting. Some really good ships being fielded, some really good setups, lots of surprises. You know, everything was really good.
How about you, Kiltu?
I'm great.
Are you? Oh, you sound great. You sound like.
I am. I slept for the first time since getting to Iceland last night, so I'm pumped because of having so much energy.
Yeah, it's true.
Sleeping.
You have like possibly 14 hours of time difference from where you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A small farm in Oregon.
A small farm in Oregon.
Where I bowl and watch figure
Where you
skating.
bowl, yeah, and do, what's it called? The thing.
Latch hook, yeah.
Latch hooks, which
Yeah.
I just learned what it is, and I'm dying to try it.
It's fun.
What are jokes?
Next segment.
Okay, okay.
And our last guest, Dev, CCP Yokai. How are you doing?
Doing great, Chris. How's it going?
I'm actually fantastic. Let's just start out with you. We met at a fan fest a while ago before you got hired.
Yeah, maybe 2008, I think.
I think so. Could you tell the viewers exactly what you were doing when we met?
But the first time, like in the hotel room, or after that?
After that.
Oh, okay. We were probably at a bar somewhere. That's what I'm thinking, or either.
I'm thinking a tournament of some
Oh, the
sort.
tournament. That's right. Yeah, I was in the PvP/mining tournament. So I was one of those guys. I think there was about 28, 29 teams that were pre-selected, and a few guys got drunk and signed up for the scratch team, and we went on to the finals.
Yeah, that's exactly it, because I remember when I saw you at the office and you just started, and I thought, isn't that the guy that almost won one of our tournaments?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever people go, your developers don't play EVE, you can just pull out, not only do I play EVE, but I almost won a tournament.
Well, And just so you know, my corp gave me a lot of crap for winning or getting second place on a mining tournament. So
yeah, that's true.
not quite the same.
That is true. So you are kind of new at CCP. What do you do for us?
I'm the new technical director of Virtual Worlds, so it means I'm a glorified computer geek, basically, but mostly responsible for what happens on TQ and the infrastructure there, as well as design for the infrastructures going forward with Dust and the game not to be mentioned.
And the game not to be mentioned.
Yeah.
You're also responsible for buying lasers, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Awesome.
We have to go meet Stevie SG and our two commentators.
Thanks, Sam. Yes, hello, I'm Stevie SG, and I'm here in the commentary booth with the guys that are going to commentate for the first half of today's matches. With me on my left, I have the wonderful Varone. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm awesome. I didn't think I was going to make it because I was so horribly drunk last night, but yeah, I'm good. Feel really good.
Bad form, sir. It's the final day. No drinking the night before. It was a wonderful day yesterday. We had much cause for celebration. How were the matches?
They were outstanding. I mean, we saw some really out-of-the-box setups. We had some really good fun, some really fast-paced, hard-hitting matches. It was just great to watch.
Awesome. And on my right, I have Darius Johnson. How are you doing this morning?
I'm wonderful, Stevie. I went to bed early, so I'm filled with energy.
So you're fresh, dewy-faced and happy and like a little mountain lamb.
Yes.
Cool. So you're going to be doing
foundation.
With foundation, and yes, we did put foundation on Darius earlier. And you're going to be doing some wonderful commentating for us today.
I certainly hope so.
That's good. I hope you're on the ball.
I am on the ball.
Good. Well, if you have any questions for these lovely guys, you can go to the forums at eveonline.com. There's a little thread which has questions, and you can write anything. We've been getting poems, haikus. If you think the commentators look like anyone famous, we had someone yesterday think that thought Kill 2 looked like somebody. I think Varone looks like Data from Star Trek.
Apparently.
So you really do. So if you think that these guys look like anyone, post us your pics. That's pretty cool. And we also have a you can post how you're watching the tournament. If you've got it rigged up to a big screen TV or anything like that, post us your pics because we'd love to see them. And we have a competition coming up, which is about guessing the PCU. It's sponsored by NVIDIA, Bigfoot Networks, and Eon. And basically all you have to do is guess the peak amount of players on the server on Sunday the 20th of June, which is expected to be between 19:30 and 21 GMT. And all you have to do is send an email to ccppcump with the 5-digit number that you guess to be the peak. And basically, if you get it right, you win an NVIDIA graphics card, a Bigfoot Networks card, and issues 1 to 20 of Eon magazine, which is a huge prize. It's the biggest prize we've ever given away. And it's going to close at 1800, so get your guesses in. We have no idea what the PC is going to be. We managed to break it 2 weeks ago when our qualifiers started, so it could be anything, but my guess is as good as yours. What do you think, Darius?
I think it's going to be broken. I think that if you had one of those Bigfoot Network cards, you might be able to peek into the future and see what it might be.
That's true, you could. Well, I'm going to peek into the future and go back to Soundwave.
Thank you very much, guys. Darius was spot on. If you have that network card and you're playing chess, you're always 2 moves ahead. Gentlemen, let's talk about yesterday. So we had a lot of exciting matches yesterday. I think today actually is probably one of the best schedules we've ever had. I think we have some of the best teams ever to play in the tournament who happen to be here playing against each other. But let's look at day one. If we can just go through it quickly. Were you surprised by anything that happened yesterday, Brianna?
There are some pretty surprising teams, not very well known outside, but they did really well. For example, Agony versus CVA, they managed to take on CVA and beat them. I'm sorry, Cry Havoc pretty convincingly, because Cry Havoc was just running around trying to avoid their Belgorn, just not engaging them, trying to play like a game where they don't want to lose any ships and just let them win by default. And they lost that, so that was a big surprise for me. Other two teams were Panda Team versus actually Solar Fleet. I actually banked on Solar Fleet to win because they had actually brought a really good setup, the 2 qualifying matches, but somehow they didn't quite make it that time. One more is actually Wrong Alliance against Majesta Empire. They actually had a very difficult start because they lost one of the Drake pilots before the tournament began, and so they still managed to beat the Majesta Empire team, and I was pretty impressed.
She said CVA.
Not CVA, Agony versus Cry Havoc.
I know, wait, you made an accident and said CVA to begin with, and I was going to say CVA.
Okay.
For reals.
CVA. Do it for reals.
CVA was surprising to me. I think that's an alliance that, I don't know, it doesn't really get any credit for being good.
Yeah.
And
at anything?
As far as I know,
I don't know.
They
I
were
mean,
good at like hanging out and having outposts in Providence, right? But then
mean-
they are not good at that now. So
Brianna, didn't you kick them out of Providence?
Not me. Bobby Atlas did actually,
Yeah.
but I mean it's more like a joint effort. But I think CVA has some pretty good FCs. I've actually played with them before and played against them before, and they know what they're doing. It's not just a bunch of role players.
I didn't know they knew what they were doing. I'm still not convinced they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how they do today.
Was that the setup we described as a bad gate camp?
No,
Who was that?
that was
Because
I
that was,
think that was Majesta Empire actually.
that was an atrocious
With the
setup.
Onyx setup, that was
Yeah.
actually.
I was trying to figure out today.
It was
still.
literally
That's
the
actually
worst
Electus
setup.
Matari with the Onyx
Ah, there
setup.
you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering if they got paid or something
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Because I actually heard someone found a kill mail that had the Dominic's fit, and it had an armor tank, and they were running like a Basilisk with Drakes.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work too well. And
No,
they had
that's-
tracking disruptors
Yeah.
instead of damps to go with their missiles. And
Can that happen this late in the tournament? I mean, we're this close to the finals.
I don't think it's going to happen today.
Yeah.
I think there will be no more gate camp teams
No.
in the tournament.
No, but I mean like the metagaming, like paying people off, going like,
Oh, yeah.
take a fall. Do you think so?
Sure,
Oh.
sure. I don't know. It's probably unlikely. I mean, I don't think paying people to drop matches really happens much in the tournament at all,
No.
if ever.
No.
There's
But-
so much money on the line
Yeah.
that it's not worth
But
it.
I mean, there's some pretty good teams, and then there are like some teams that are okay, but aren't really like foreseen to go all the way. I mean, let's say you're Agony Empire, for example.
Mhm.
You're Agony Empire, you've come really far, you've done really well, and you're like, we don't mind losing the next match for 10 billion because we know we'll never get the main prize. You
I
think
would
that?
do that, but I think Agony is just riddled with honor. They would
Yeah,
they would
yeah,
never do
yeah, I
something
mean,
like that.
yeah. Both the English and American version with the O and the OU
Yes.
honor. But I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know. I guess if you came up against a match that felt impossible, but if that's the case, who's going to pay you to drop it? They're just going to win anyway,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
I don't think there's many situations at this point that would come up where it would be worthwhile for both teams to engage in something like that. At this point, the teams
No.
are either good enough that they feel they have a chance,
Yeah.
and then they could pick up 50
Fair point.
unique ships by winning the tournament. So the measly 5 bill they get offered isn't going to be worth it. I mean, they're not going to, or they won't have a chance, and no one's going to give them any money.
You know what? I think the next match is very unlikely to be rigged. These are two really, really good teams.
Oh my gosh, it's Hydra.
It is HYDRA, one of the teams that are seen as favorites by many, and Rote Kapelle, which is a team that I think is always being underestimated because they pretty much crush everything.
Well, they're going to lose right now, so.
Certainly might. Let's have a quick round of what you guys think.
I'm gonna go for Hydra.
Okay.
Hydra too. I kind of want to see the Hydra PL showdown.
I'm going for Rote Kapelle. And let's see. Come on, guys.